This is section 5, which has been all about poker mathematics, and this is going to be basic implied odds in lesson number 2. So to start off with, what are implied odds? Well, implied odds basically involve the amount of money that you can potentially expect to win after you have finished your drawing hand. So in the last lesson, we talked a lot about the different straights, flushes, and how to know whether it's worth chasing a hand or not. But drawing hands are also, by the way, just referring to flushes, straights, and any other potential card that can potentially help you complete your hand. So that's what, now this section is going to be all about implied odds. So for example, if you make a call on the flop with a flush draw and you hit it on the turn, your implied odds are referring to the amount of money that you can extract from your opponents potentially after the turn and river. Why are implied odds important? Well, these implied odds are extremely important because it helps you understand how much you can expect to win on the future betting rounds. Implied odds are designed to influence your decision to call or fold a specific hand. So we talked about how pot odds can determine the value and let you know if it's a good idea or not in regards to calling and pursuing future betting rounds, and implied odds are the same way because they also influence your decision to call or fold a specific hand. So you want to combine these two things when chasing after draws to maximize your profit and to understand when it's a good chase to make and when it's not such a good chase to make. What difference do implied odds make? So if you expect to win a ton of money on future betting rounds if or after you hit your flush or straight draw, you can afford to bend the rules of pot odds just a little bit to see in other cards. So if your implied odds make it worthwhile, you can pay a little bit more to try and make your hands. On the opposite token, if you have really poor or bad implied odds, you should probably stick to the rules and fold since you're not going to get a lot of good value. How to use implied odds in poker. So the more hidden your hand is, the bigger your implied odds are. If your hand is hidden, that means that your opponent's not going to suspect that you have a strong hand, so you can potentially get paid off in the future rounds. So it's great to have a hidden hand because then your opponent doesn't know what you have. If it becomes rather obvious that you have a big hand, the chances are that you most likely won't get paid out. So you really need to understand and evaluate how your opponents see you and how they specifically are viewing you during a specific hand based on their actions, bets, and movements. Lastly, evaluating implied odds. So good implied odds are with straights and sets. Poor implied odds come with flushes. So that's just another thing to keep in mind. But that's it for this section. Implied odds are a very basic thing, and it's a very basic structure that you can add to your game, and it will really help you build up more profitability over the long haul. That's it for this section, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.